everybody talks about your life path number when that's not all there is to numerology. But also, that's a completely different type of numerology that we ain't gonna speak of. But now that you're here, I'm Ace. So let's get into it. Before we get into everything, I do want to let you know that I take a modernized approach to Chaldean just because we in modern times. We are in modern times. I'm not in the back then that they was in, so we ain't gonna act like I know what they was talking about back then. Because some of the things is very gendered, some of the things are very strict to the binary, some of the things are stuff that we don't even have access to today, at least in where I'm located. So it's like I'm just letting you know. But before we get into everything, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Your Soul Lab. And yeah, let's get into it. Starting off, here is a list of the letters and the planets and the numbers and how they connect to each other so that we know what we're talking about. You can take a screenshot of this. You can also find it on my Twitter. It's literally posted everywhere. And it's probably also on my Instagram and maybe even my TikTok. So take this list of the planets, numbers, and letters and rock with it. Because this is what we gonna need for you to know what we talking about and you to be able to understand what's going on. First things first, let's get into that psychic number. So your psychic number is based off of the day that you are born in Chaldean numerology. This number is the number of the psyche. It's sort of kind of in the name, but it highlights the themes of your relationships with not only people, but food, and also your needs, your goals, your ambitions, your desires, like everything in the motherfucking book she touched. Just her solely. The other numbers, they can interact with her, but talking about her, that's what she touched. Now it's believed that the psychic number is how you see yourself and the destiny number is how the world sees you. I don't completely agree with that view, so I'm just the messenger on that one. But one of the most interesting things for me about the psychic number is it really can encapsulate the relationship between your psychic number planet and the planets in your birth chart. So let's say you're a psychic number 4. So that's Uranus and the North Node. You want to look at any of the aspects to those placements in your birth chart. And you might have a lot of them, or you might have none. But most commonly what I found is that it's in a prominent location in the birth chart or has major aspects to it of some sort, some weight, some amount. There's something happening with those planets based off the psychic number. Same thing for literally all the psychic numbers. It could be aspecting any of the major 4 points of the AC, the IC, the DC, or the MC. There can be any stronger planets touching it, so any outer planets hitting it, or any inner planets hitting it. Like there can be a lot of things that happen with it, but there's some sort of interaction between that psychic number planet and the rest of the planets in the birth chart. With your psychic number, you can understand your traits, precautions, weak periods, strong periods, elemental things like manifesting with elements, manifesting techniques, your best days, best colors, best crystals. There's like the health, mental health, any type of health, relationship, which like body parts. There's a lot. There's a lot. You get also best years too. Like there's so much shit that you can find out and understand with your psychic number. Like I don't think y'all understand. I don't think you understand. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Because you really can understand so much with just your psychic number. And yet nobody really knows about her. By understanding the relationship between the numbers that create your psychic number and also the psychic number itself, you can understand how you interact with the world and how you're naturally programmed based off of this number. You can go really in depth with your psychic number because if your psychic number is 2 digits, it's a compound number psychic number. And a compound number is just a number with 2 digits. And it can have also more digits, but not based off of your birthday, not based off of that. It'd be more on day 300. I only say more digits because of angel numbers, so let me know if you want me to do a video on that one. Compound numbers are naturally more dynamic because of how many numbers and different energies are involved in that number. So you could be a psychic number 9, you could have 2 psychic number 9s, for example. You have somebody who's born on the 9th and you have somebody who's born on the 27th. The 27th has the moon and Neptune in the south node involved to create that Mars energy that's ruled by 9, whereas 9 is just 9 and it's just Mars. So they're both psychic number 9s, but 27 is a lot more complex and has more dynamicism than 9 just solely. This can be good or bad because of the fact that when we're looking at the psychic number, any number that's 1 through 9 solely of you're born on the 1st through the 9th, you have just a clear shot. For anyone who's born on the 10th through 31st, there's a lot more complexity there because there's 2 digits involved creating another number, hypothetically, because some of the numbers do still create the same number. For example, like 19, you're a psychic number 1, so it's just 1, 9, and 1. So there's not more. There's just 2 energies instead of having 3, hypothetically, like you would with 27. I'm not going to go too in depth about psychic numbers, but if you do want a video on your psychic number, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the DMs, follow me again. You already know the @ is right there. No, it's not. It's right there. Is it over there? It's on one of the sides. Here's a nice little how-to on how to calculate your psychic number, but also your destiny number. A psychic number is based on the day that you were born. So let's say you were born on July 14th, 1997. We don't care about the month or the year, so we just worrying about the day. Take those 2 digits, if there are 2. If there's 1, you already have your psychic number. But add those 2 digits together to get a single digit, and that is your psychic number. And while we're here, I'll explain destiny numbers too. Destiny numbers are calculated based on your entire birthday. So bring back your month and your year, add all the numbers together until you get a single digit. There are no master numbers in Chaldean numerology, so just 1 digit. So now the destiny number traditionally highlights what you deserve. Now that sounds kind of harsh, but like I said, Chaldean can be harsh. But on top of what you deserve, I've also seen a couple of patterns as to what else it can allude to. It can show the ways that you feel most fulfilled, themes that will play out throughout your life, and some of the things that you cannot get away from even if you tried. It can also highlight hidden traits and gifts due to the fact that the destiny number does not take over until after your first Saturn return. So after your Saturn return, the psychic number sort of takes a back seat per se, and the destiny number steps forward and has more control of the reins. Your destiny number also can highlight the why as to why you're here, or why you reincarnated, or why you incarnated in the first place. So it sort of highlights themes of the soul for me, but it definitely goes in depth into what you can see, achieve, and do with your life. The destiny number is viewed as the most important number in the numerology chart due to the fact that it holds so much weight of you don't have control over how this should go, but here you go. So though the psychic number and name number come into play, neither of them can directly impact the destiny number because the destiny number is already seen as what is set in stone. Like I said, your destiny number doesn't really come into play until after your Saturn return, but I have seen for some destiny numbers, depending on what the psychic number is, it can draw out the destiny number, seemingly at least, into the front lines or into more directly into that person's life off jump. After that Saturn return, it doesn't really get its footing until 35, 40-ish. So you got a little bit of wiggle room, but again, the destiny number do be popping out for some people before that Saturn return. So now you already saw the clip of how to calculate your destiny number, but that clip was based off of the Pythagorean method. Let's get into the Chaldean method. The Chaldean method to calculate your destiny number is calculating each digit 1 by 1, rather than just combining the entirety of the birth information, so your month, your day, your year, add them all together, and then get your single digit some way, somehow. The reason why you want to add all of your numbers together 1 by 1 is because you'll get a supplementary number to your destiny number, which also can contribute to how and when your destiny number can present itself. So let's say you were born on October 17th, 1998. You would add the 1, the 0, the 1, the 7, the 1, the 9, the 9, and the 8, all singularly together to get 36. Now, 36 isn't the final destiny number, so adding 3 and 6 together, you'd finally get 9. 9 is the destiny number, but 3 and 6 still play a role in how that destiny number plays out. Since 3 is the first number in 36, 3 takes more of the wheel, and 6 sort of takes a little bit of a back seat. It doesn't mean she's not there, it doesn't play any role at all. She does, just not as dominant as 3. 9 is the most dominant because that's the final digit, then there's 3, and then there's 6. If you want a full video on destiny numbers, you already know what to do. Let's get into name numbers. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I can talk about name numbers all day long. I can talk about them so much because they are so valuable and nobody knows it. It's like they're a number that you have, but you don't realize that you have, but you also don't realize how much of a role it plays into everything because it really do. But she's a little mysterious. She don't really pop out like that until you're like, damn, she popping out. The name number highlights how you're viewed, spoken of, thought of, and anything in regards to social interaction. And a good name number can actually impact your experience in the world, which is how the name number impacts the psychic number. If your name number doesn't really work well with your psychic number, you may feel like the world hates you or everybody's against you, when that's not really the case. It's just the incompatibility between your name number and your psychic number. Having an incompatible name number and psychic number can therefore also impact your mental health. Like I said before, the destiny number is seen as how the world sees you, but I don't really agree with that necessarily. I believe that the name number is how the world sees you due to the fact that when you're doing anything, your name is involved. You're going to get your nails done, they calling your name. When somebody's speaking to you, they're calling your name before they speak to you. When somebody's talking about you, they say your name. When you're ordering for pickup, your name. When you're getting a package, your name. When you're doing business, your name. Literally, your name is everywhere. Social media, your fucking name, bro. Like, your name is everywhere. And anywhere your name is used, that name number is involved. If it's not working well with your psychic number, that could contribute to why shit's not shaking the way you want it to. Now, there's multiple different name numbers and they hold weight differently. The name number that you get from your first name or your last name or your full name or your social media name only comes into play where that name is used. The first letter holds a good amount of weight, but the totality of the name holds the most. But the first letter can give you a lot of insight. Your full name comes into play wherever that full name would be used. So in legal pursuits or in business, in doctor's office and things of that sort, insurance, shit like that. That's where your full name, wherever your full name would be used, is where that full name number comes into play. Your popular name is deemed as the most important name due to the fact it's the popular name. Now that we're in a social media age, that even is more highlighted due to the fact that you now have not only the name that you're born with, but you also have possibly an online persona, or you're branding your legal name. So though your first name might be Jack, your full name might be Jack Johnson, and you might brand yourself under Jack Johnson. So now your popular name is Jack Johnson, whereas everybody on the day-to-day may call you Jack. So those are two different name numbers that are interacting differently in those different spaces. So with all of this in mind, I feel as though the name number has become more dynamic and impactful over time. Now, I wasn't taught anything around the last name number of what it could hypothetically mean, but I do have some ideas. I wouldn't be surprised if the last name number could highlight any ancestral gifts or curses or baggage or anything that is contributing to your entire ancestral line. So your hardships, the traumas, the things that you're supposed to fix in this life, hypothetically, the things that your family can't let go of, stuff like that. But I'm still playing around with this one. Your name number changes anytime you change your name. So marriage, legalizing a new name, anything involving changing your name. Changing your name number therefore impacts your psychic number. It can be more beneficial or more detrimental. It could hypothetically change how people interact with you after changing your name. If you have multiple names, which depending on what you do, I would recommend, you therefore have two different name numbers. And those name numbers hold different energy. So if your parents call you Jackie, but your friends call you Jack, two different name numbers, two different energies. And therefore, two different interactions that those two sets of people will have with you. Not only because they're your friends and your parents, but name number can impact that. Having a name number that works well with your psychic number is crucial due to the social interaction that comes with the name number. Though the destiny number is not directly impacted by any outside number at all because it's already set in stone, I personally feel like it wouldn't hurt to have a name number that is beneficial or works well with your destiny number or just looks cute type shit. Because the destiny number is said to be how the world sees you, and the name number is how you're spoken of, thought of, and even interacted with, I feel like there's benefit in having a compatible destiny and name number. There are two different letter charts that you will find when looking into your name number, and you want to look for the one that don't look like it make any sense. That is the Chaldean letter chart, whereas the letter chart that has letters in order 1 through 9 and includes the number 9, that is the Pythagorean method. There's nothing wrong with the Pythagorean method, it's just different from Chaldean. But calculate your name number and let me know what it is. I'm interested. Now, there are so many other cool things that you can do with Chaldean numerology, like understanding your residential number, understanding your personalized meaning for angel numbers. What else can you do? Lucky numbers, personal months, days, and years, and literally anything that involves numbers. Chaldean numerology got you. But this was a very brief peek peek into what each of those numbers represent. If you do want a full breakdown on any of them, let me know. But check out my other videos and follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at YourSoulLab. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.